Dear listeners, I welcome you to my channel. Leave your comments and impressions, I value your opinion. The lock clicked open with a soft snick, the sound muffled by the pounding in my ears. Home at last after a grueling month-long business trip, all I wanted was to collapse into bed. My fingers trembled as they fumbled for the light switch, craving the comfort of darkness. Instead, I pushed open the bedroom door and froze. There in the soft glow of the moonlight streaming through our window, lay my wife Anna, but she wasn't alone. Her head rested peacefully on the chest of a man whose face was unfamiliar yet eerily calm, as if he belonged there in our bed. My heart thudded painfully against my ribs. This wasn't how I'd imagined my homecoming. For a moment I stood there, a bouquet of wilting airport flowers in hand, the sweet scent a stark contrast to the bitterness swelling inside me. Anger surged, and before I could think, I tossed the flowers at them. Petals fluttered through the air, a silent scream of my betrayal. What the hell is this? My voice cracked, harsh and loud in the quiet room. The stranger didn't flinch as the petals settled on his smirk. His eyes, dark and mocking, fixed on mine as he stretched languidly, like a cat in the sun. Has the deceived husband returned? His voice dripped with condescension, slicing through the last of my restraint. I clenched my fists, struggling to keep my voice steady. I think you've mistaken your lines. It's wife, deceived wife. Now who are you? My words were ice, my stare colder. Anna stirred, her eyes fluttering open, confusion etched across her face as she took in the scene. Emma. You're early, I thought. Clearly, you thought wrong, I cut her off, my gaze flicking between her and her lover. Care to explain? She sat up, clutching the sheet to her chest, her eyes darting nervously between me and the man beside her. Emma, No. I snapped, my voice firm, cutting through her stammering. I want to hear it from him. I turned to the stranger, demanding, who are you? He sat up, an arrogant tilt to his chin. I'm someone who doesn't hide in the shadows. Someone who knows how to appreciate her. His smile was a slash, cruel and knowing. I felt my breath catch, my pulse racing with a mix of fury and heartbreak. Appreciate her? By sneaking into her wife's bed. By lying to her, deceiving her. Anna's hand reached out, touching my arm in a plea for understanding. Emma, please let me explain. There's nothing to explain. I hissed, pulling away from her touch as if burned. I trusted you, Anna. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me. Her eyes filled with tears, but the sight didn't soften my heart as it might have before. I was lonely, she whispered, her voice breaking. You were always away, and you decided this was the solution. My laugh was bitter, hollow. Sleeping with him? Who is he, Anna? Who? The stranger, still smirking, finally introduced himself. I'm Michael. And before you ask, yes, I knew all about you. Anna needed someone, and I was there. My world tilted, reality skewing into a nightmare. Betrayal by my wife was one thing, but a calculated invasion by this Michael twisted the knife deeper. My mind raced, fury and shock battling for dominance. I needed to think, to plan. Get out, I said quietly, my voice deadly calm. Both of you, get out of my house. Anna's plea was a soft sob. Emma, please. No, Anna. Out. Now. I pointed towards the door, my decision final. As they scrambled out of bed, the cold clarity of my next steps crystallized in my mind. This was not just a betrayal. This was war, and I was not going to lose. After they left, the silence was deafening. The moonlight mocked me, casting shadows that danced like specters of betrayal across the empty room. I sank to the floor, the chill of the hardwood seeping into my bones. But self-pity was a luxury I couldn't afford. Not tonight, not with the fire of revenge burning in my chest. I stood, resolute, my resolve hardening. I needed allies, information, and a plan. My first call was to Rachel, my oldest friend and a private investigator who helped me navigate lesser crises in the past. Rachel, it's Emma. I need your help, I said, the moment she picked up. Her voice was alert despite the late hour. What's happened? I just caught Anna cheating with some guy. I want to know everything about him. Can you do that? You got it. I'll start digging into this guy first thing in the morning. Anything else? Yes, I replied, steel in my voice. Gather the crew. I need all hands on deck. Consider it done. Meet at your place? Exactly. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Thanks, Wretch. The line clicked dead, and I moved to my next task. I typed out messages to the rest of my close-knit group of friends, each skilled in their own right. They were loyal, fierce, and I knew they'd rally to my cause. By dawn, my living room was buzzing. Rachel had arrived first, laptop open, already pulling up data. Following her were Jamie, an expert in tech and hacking, and Chris, who had connections everywhere and could find out anything from anyone. Emma, this is what I have on your wife's lover. Rachel began, her screen filled with profiles and photos. Michael Turner. Works in finance. No criminal record, but several mentions in society pages. Seems like a smooth operator. Jamie chimed in, tapping away on her tablet. I've hacked into his socials. The guy's pretty slick. Lots of photos with various women, but nothing too damning, yet. Chris, ever the strategist, spread out a map and several documents on the coffee table. Here's the game plan. We need leverage. Dirt on this guy that's actionable. I've got contacts who can get us more. But we need to decide how dirty we're willing to play. I paced, thinking it over. I want to scare him off. Not destroy him, yet. Let's keep it clean as long as we can, but prepare for everything. We might need to switch tactics fast. The room hummed with the energy of a war council. Plans were drawn, roles assigned, and by the time the meeting adjourned, I felt a grim satisfaction. We were in this together, a united front against the deceit that had invaded my life. Later, as I prepared for bed in the guest room, my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. I hope you're doing okay. We need to talk. Anna. I stared at the message, the words blurring before my eyes. Part of me yearned to hear her out, to seek the comfort of the familiar. But the larger part, the part steeled by betrayal and fortified by the support of my friends, knew better. Not yet, Anna. Not yet. I whispered to the silent room. I set the phone down, its screen casting a pale glow in the dark. Tomorrow, the real games would begin. The morning sun was a harsh reminder that the world kept turning, no matter the turmoil in my life. I was up early, dressed sharply, a suit of armor against the day's challenges. As I sipped my coffee, the bitterness matched my mood. Today was not just another day. It was the beginning of my counterattack. By 10 a.m., Rachel had reconvened in my kitchen, her laptop open to an intricate web of Michael's financial transactions. Jamie was setting up surveillance software, a network of digital eyes and ears that would keep us updated on Michael's movements. Got something, Jamie announced, her eyes not leaving the screen. He's meeting someone at the Café Royale this afternoon. Could be business, could be another date. Perfect. I grinned, feeling the thrill of the chase. Rachel, you're with me. We'll see who he's meeting. Jamie, keep us updated on any changes. Chris walked in, phone in hand, a serious look etched on his face. Talked to a few people who know Michael. He's clean on paper but has a reputation as a manipulator, especially with women. Be careful, Emma. I always am, I replied, though his warning sent a chill down my spine. Rachel and I arrived at Café Royale with minutes to spare, settling at a table with a clear view of the entrance. I felt oddly exposed, yet the rush of adrenaline was undeniable. We didn't have to wait long. Michael walked in, alone, scanning the cafe. His eyes briefly met mine, but there was no flicker of recognition. He settled at a table across the room. Here comes someone, Rachel murmured as a well-dressed woman approached Michael. Their greeting was warm, too warm for a simple business meeting. My grip tightened around my cup, the ceramic cold against my skin. Who is she? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Rachel was already on her laptop, her fingers flying over the keys. Give me a second. Got her. Diana Marshall, owns a gallery downtown. Known for... Oh, this is interesting. What? I leaned in, my earlier resolve hardening into something fiercer. She's his ex. And not a friendly one. Filed a lawsuit against him last year for fraud. Settled out of court. Looks like they're back on speaking terms. I noted, watching as they laughed over their coffee. We need to talk to her. Find out what she knows. The meeting lasted an hour, with Michael and Diana parting seemingly on good terms. As they left, Rachel and I followed at a distance until Diana veered off into a small art gallery. Wait here, I instructed Rachel, my heart pounding as I approached Diana. Ms. Marshall? I called out as I entered the gallery. She turned, surprise evident on her face. Yes, can I help you? My name is Emma. I believe we have a common acquaintance in Michael Turner. Her expression shifted, a guarded look crossing her features. I don't discuss Michael with strangers. I understand, but I'm not exactly a stranger. I'm someone who's currently suffering because of his actions. I think we might help each other. Deanna studied me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. All right. Let's talk. As we sat down in the quiet back room of her gallery, surrounded by abstract paintings that seemed to echo my tumultuous emotions, Diana began to unfold her story. With each word, the pieces of Michael's deceitful puzzle began to fall into place, and a plan started to form. A plan that might just bring Michael Turner to his knees. The gallery was quiet, the only sound the soft murmur of the city outside. Diana's story was a revelation, painting a picture of Michael as more than just a philanderer, but a schemer who used relationships as stepping stones. My mind raced, weaving her information into my burgeoning plan. He targeted me because I trusted him, and he used that trust to funnel money for my business, Diana explained, her voice steady but her eyes haunted. I fought back, but he's slippery, legally untouchable. I nodded, my thoughts aligning with hers. He did something similar to me, I confessed. But together, maybe we can ensure he doesn't get away this time. Diana agreed, and we shook hands, our alliance sealed with mutual resolve. As I left the gallery, my phone buzzed. A message from Jamie indicating that she had something urgent. Back at my house, my crew was assembled, each person wearing a serious expression. Jamie pointed to her laptop screen. Look at this. I hacked into Michael's financials deeper. It's not just small frauds. There's a pattern here linked to something bigger. Offshore accounts, shell companies, and money laundering. Chris leaned over her shoulder, his eyes narrowing. This goes way deeper than personal deceit. This could be criminal on a large scale. We need to bring this to the authorities, Rachel suggested, her tone cautious. With Diana's and Emma's testimonies, we might just get the feds interested. I hesitated, the weight of the decision pressing down on me. Betrayal had brought me here, but this was bigger than just my broken heart. This was about justice. To it, I finally said. Gather all the evidence. It's time Michael faced real consequences. The next few days were a whirlwind. Working with federal agents, we compiled a dossier of Michael's activities. Diana and I provided our statements, detailing the personal harms and the broader financial manipulations. The day of the sting operation was tense. Michael was scheduled to meet another potential victim, and the federal agents were in place. I watched from a distance, my stomach in knots. The cafe was bustling, oblivious to the drama unfolding. Then it happened. As Michael greeted his new mark, federal agents closed in, their approach swift and silent. Michael's face registered shock, then fear as he was read his rights and handcuffed. Despite everything, a part of me felt a pang of pity for the man I thought I knew. In the aftermath, as Michael was taken away, I felt a hand on my shoulder. Turning, I found Anna standing there, her eyes wet with tears. Emma, I'm so sorry, she whispered. I never knew about any of this. If I had... I held up a hand, stopping her. It's not just about what you knew, Anna. It's about what you chose to do. But right now, it's over. She nodded, stepping back, her presence diminishing. As I watched her retreat, I felt the final thread of our connection sever, a painful yet freeing cut. Weeks later, the full story would come out. Michael's arrest led to a crackdown on a major money laundering network. My name and Diana's were kept out of the papers, but the satisfaction of having stopped him provided a quiet closure. Sitting in my living room, now free of deceit, I realized the ordeal had taught me about resilience, about justice, but most of all, about the importance of choosing whom to trust. As I poured myself a cup of tea, the doorbell rang, a delivery, a new piece of art for the empty walls. I smiled, accepting the package. Life was about moving forward, and I was ready to paint a new picture, one stroke at a time.